Hey guys, Brian with Buffalo Beer Reviews. We are here with something that is really exciting. Really kind of pulled together a lot of different names in Buffalo Brewing for something kind of fun, right? And it is the Class is in Session IPA, officially under the 12 Gates name, but it comes along with all of these other players in in the making and the kind of the planning, the execution of the beer. And this is all for the 2018 Buffalo Beer Week. So they kind of brewed this in collaboration with one another and are going to be kind of presenting it to the public this year as sort of a, this is Buffalo Brew sort of, here it is. Like I said, Class is in Session IPA. It's 5.8 ABV with only 35 IBUs. It's a sessionable ale. Buffalo Beer Week 2018 with names that are including 12 Gates, Community Beer Works, Buffalo Brew Pub, 4 Mile, West Shore, Hamburg, Thin Man, Rusty Nickel, 42 North, Resurgence, New York Beer Project, Ellicottville Brewing Company, 5 and 20, Flying Bison, Lily Bell, Sado, Buffalo Brewing, Big Ditch, Brickyard, Woodcock, New York Craft Malt, New York Craft Malt Pressure Drop, Old First Ward, Ironheart Canning, and Berlin Packaging. Wow. I mean, what the hell? You know what I mean? Says this brew is a juicy, easy drinking session IPA born from the collective minds of over 20 local brewers to celebrate the evolving history, continuous education, and collaboration of Buffalo's craft beer scene. Says you can learn more at buffalobeerweek.com. The Buffalo News had a great write-up on the beer as well. It's kind of cool. I think hops are, the sexy thing to kind of talk about and stuff like that. But there are things like, there's malts, and there's 2-roll pale malts from the Niagara Malt in Cambria. Just a whole ton of people, like a nice little write-up on who did what, where, when, stuff like that. Like I said, you can also go to Buffalo Beer Week. Let me see, buffalobeerweek.com, or you can also go to the Buffalo Niagara Brewers Association.org. I'll have a link to both of those. Those will kind of give you an idea of the different events happening around town during that week. So that's a lot. I thought this beer was fitting. It was the first day of school here in the Clarence School District. I was out shopping. I got this at Dash's on Main Street in Clarence, and I just thought it was fitting. Class is back. Class is in session, and it fit in more ways than one. So let's take a look at this bad boy. I mean, if there was any more perfect of a beer to have on Buffalo Beer Reviews, I don't know what it is. Again, I can smell the wonderful malt from here. Class is in Session IPA from officially 12 Gates, but about 24 other people as well. Yeah, smells wicked good. I had to get an official nose in there because it was just kind of tapping at me. Hey, what are you doing? Look at this. It's beautiful. It's like this. It's borderline pale yellow with this really nice pale golden sort of color. Very nice carbonations and a nice fair, head on it. Really. Yeah. Not bad. Smells of that maltiness, that faint, crisp, sort of faint hops, generic hops. But it's that classic 2-row all the way. Do you know what I mean? There were some English malts, English yeasts that I read about on the Buffalo News. I can kind of get a little bit of that playing. That's really about it. Maybe just a very light quaff of like floral notes, if that. Faint sweetness. Yeah. you know, to preface this beer with it being, you know, 91 degrees all day long, with me doing some housework, doing a run, you know, I really don't feel as though this beer is going to be a difficult beer to drink with everything else that's lined up with it. But, you know, proof is in the pudding, so let's see what this beer is all about, right? Yeah. Wow. It's quite a not so straightforward session. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so I think you get this very malty, weedy sort of profile to these flavors. Faint sweetness. Getting just, I'm not really getting a whole lot of like pulled out, like singled out sort of citrus notes. Just not. I've read a lot of some other people that I follow on Untapped have described some citrus and some passion fruit, and I know that those are the hops that they've used should produce those qualities, but I'm not really getting it. Yeah, get your nose a little bit deeper in there and pull out a little bit more of, I think, the galaxy qualities of it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not really getting much on what else would they say, the Mosaic Citra Galaxy. I think the Citra might just be that might be a bittering agent, but I'm not getting much of that on the aromas or the flavoring. Mosaic, yeah, I think we were talking about that generalized floral notes. I just burped. There you go. That was definitely a Mosaic burp. But I think the base of this beer is more of Galaxy than anything. And the Wakadu and Kahadu, I don't know. I think those are just supporting players. I do get a generic sort of bready quality, toast bread. I don't know if that's just from it being a sessionable, if that has something to do with them trying to kind of kick it down a notch. Overall, this is a thin profile, really light on the mouthfeel. There's nothing offensive about this. This is something that's going to be, you know, easy to put away one or two without any second thought. Off the back end, I'm getting just ever so. It kind of comes across as like a wheat ale, sort of follow through. Thin, kind of just, it's a very forgettable sort of aftertaste. I guess in a semi-okay way. It drinks like a 5.8er. Drinks like a 35 IBUer. You know, this isn't going to be a hard beer to finish. I think it's supposed to be drinkable. It's supposed to be, you know, this New York sort of Buffalo experiment. Lots of New York ingredients. This is what, you know, the micro craft breweries can do as opposed to the macro brews. It's just a nice exercise in collaboration. But honestly, this isn't even my third favorite session. Honestly, it's just kind of it was nice that everybody got together to brew a beer together. But overall, this isn't a wonderful sessionable IPA, honestly. So I know they didn't make a lot of it. So if you guys want it, go out and find it. I got mine at Dashes. I know 12 Gates is going to have it on tap starting the 14th, which is the official kickoff to Buffalo Beer Week. And I'm sure all the other places that collaborated on this brew are also going to have it at their place as well. So, but probably in varying amounts, 6 tells and stuff like that. So I don't know. Did I get anything else from this beer? I really didn't. It's not terrible, but it's also not the best I've ever had. So that's it for me, guys. School's back in, so watch out for those buses and those kids crossing the roads, and be smart about it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.